So I had to stop the recording I was doing earlier because we got some big news, right? Some breaking news, some big time news, something that Sooner fans, this is huge. Just put it that way, right? One of our top defenders, the guy with the most snap counts this past season, Woody Washington, is back. And I want to talk about how impactful it's going to be having him and the long list of dudes that's going to join him going into the SEC. So let's dive into that. Let's look at some numbers, watch a little bit of Woody doing what he does best, but really dive into the nuance of the importance of Woody Washington making a return. But before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank y'all for pulling up to the channel. We appreciate the love. We've seen a lot of growth over the last few days, and I've seen a lot of you watching this video that ain't hit that like or the subscribe button. Let's go ahead and change that. Wipe your feet, hit the like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, especially if you like the content. That lets YouTube know that I'm putting out stuff that y'all actually enjoy and want to watch. And so if you want me to keep doing it, need those likes, subscribe to help your boy out with growing in the algorithm. So let's dive into Woody Washington, though. Woody posted a message on his Instagram tonight and said, "I'm back, baby." And that's a big deal for this defense because, and let me explain in the simplest terms of why this is so huge for Oklahoma going forward. Walking into the SEC with a tier 1 defense, yeah, that's going to help you make some waves very early because we'll be returning the vast majority of this defensive staff, right? The entire the defense. If you look at every defensive player on the starting 11, we'll lose 2. So you're going to have at least 9 players. And in some games, it's 10 because Dejon Terry as well as Jacob Lacey started some games. You're only losing Isaiah Cole, Jordan Kelly, losing Bothroyd. You're going to be walking in there, in some cases, between 8 and 10 returning starters, depending on the sets, going into the SEC. That's huge. And like I mentioned about Woody walked in this season, the number 1 snap count player on this team. He had 851 snaps in this season. He was on the field a lot. And the beauty of what Woody was doing is that he gave Gentry Williams the opportunity to truly show how good he is. And you may be asking me, Jay, how does Woody affect what Gentry's doing? Well, I'll tell you, because to start the season, Woody was not getting targeted. Like I look back on it, the first 3 games of the season between Arkansas State, SMU, and Tulsa, he had a total of 8 targets in all 3 games. And those teams passed a lot on us, right? But that's the crazy part is because they didn't really pass on him because they know the veteranness of what Woody Washington brings. So you got the young pup, Gentry Williams, the guy that nobody knows very much. He's been dealing with shoulder problems, and so I ain't got to see him, so we're going to test him out. That led to Gentry getting all them interceptions that Gentry got this past season, right? So whenever you have an opportunity to have a player like Woody Washington, a veteran presence like that, someone that can help lead to the young guy going out here and getting the interceptions you need and he had 3 picks on the season, all because people did not want to throw to Woody's side. But then it shifted. People started to throw towards more towards Woody. And so when I looked at his numbers, went to PFF, had to pull it up. Shout out to my guy, Stats by Popo. He always provides the numbers for me, but I went ahead and dove in and grabbed these myself. When you look at this, he had 889 snaps last season. He was one of our most played guys last year. Adding into that experience this year, 851 snaps. He didn't have to play a lot in the beginning of the season because of the blowouts, Tulsa and Arkansas State. He got some breaks. And in some of the other games where he got to get some breaks in as well. West Virginia, he didn't have to play a full game. He got 3 snaps, though, which is still a lot. But for the most part, he got a lot of opportunities to sit back. Iowa State only had 50 snaps. But for the most part, he was playing at least 60 snaps every game, besides in 3 games this season. So he's that veteran you need out there. So you add him with Stutzman, Billy Bowman, right? That's your 3 main veteran guys on that defense. Then Dejon Terry as well as Jacob Lacey on the line. Then you can start surrounding with the rest with and Ethan Downs. Adding Ethan Downs to that list. And then you start surrounding them with the young pups. You're going to see PJ Adebawore. You're going to see R. Mason Thomas. You get, of course, the linebacker room. We talk about them like crazy. And we're going to dive into the rooms and stuff later on into the spring. Give us some content to talk about, right? But that secondary with Woody and Gentry Williams getting out there. You had Josiah Wagner definitely rotating in a lot, especially as he's getting healthy. You'll see a lot of him. You'll see some Jacoby Johnson going out there along with some Makari Vickers. Like, we've got a lot of really good, really young players that need a veteran to go with them to make sure that the mistakes that they make are cleaned up a lot faster. That's why it's big having these vets coming in and walking into the SEC with, like I said, almost all 11 of your starters from the last 2 years playing in the Brent Venables defense, ready to go. That changes everything for the team, right? Having super seniors, having seniors out there. We had the most snaps of underclassmen, freshmen to redshirt freshmen to sophomores in the ranked teams in college football. We played a lot of young players out of all the other ranked teams, and that's something that helps build what the team's going to look like. That experience is what grows your team, right? You got to get playing on the field. You got to play the game to get better at the game. But at the same time, when you play a lot of young players, a lot of young mistakes show up. If you've ever listened to me, you probably heard me say this. I don't like playing freshmen because they're easily duped by the other team. They can find their tendency and they will attack them. And so now we'll have the opportunity where freshmen will get those opportunities to play, but there won't be a lot of film on them, right? But now, after this season, we played so many young players in the snap counts. We ain't going to be concerned when Woody comes out, right? Woody comes out, we're good. The world won't come to an end because you're going to add in a Des Malone as well, right there with a Woody Washington in that corner room. Those young corners, when they get into their sophomore years, their redshirt sophomore years, they're going to be nasty. They're going to be nasty guys. The defense is going to look great for 24, 25, and 26 because of how much these people will play. The question is going to be, how do we bring in the young players to build up those gaps going forward, right? So, yeah, I'm going on, but I'm excited about this Woody Washington piece. Hop in the comments, let your boy know what's your thoughts. How you feeling about Woody Washington making his valiant return and joining all the other veterans on the defensive side of the ball? I'm telling you all, that is probably one of the best news we've gotten, on top of seeing that Stutzman is returning, like I said, and Billy Bowman is returning, and Dejon Terry, Jacob Lacey, Ethan Downs. Having all of these players that have a lot of experience and have seen some success, man, it's going to help pay dividends walking into the SEC. If you've made it this far, you like the content, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We'd love for you to join this family of college football fans. We talk a lot of OU football here, right? But we're expanding into college football. I told you, 2024, we're going to do a lot more. We'll have a podcast episode going. We're going to talk about the games and everything. And I'm hoping that you all will join us. But besides that, we did see a portal entry. Blake Smith, the tight end that transferred here from Texas A&M, has entered the portal. He was a preferred walk-on, and so he'll be gone. Like you said, tight end room is going to be seeing some changes because I've heard of a couple of guys interested in pulling up to Oklahoma. One of them you all will want to hear about. Whenever I find some more confirmation or we see something come down the line, of course, I'll drop another video. But I wanted y'all to know Blake hit the portal as well, but the biggest news here is Woody Washington is back. So, YouTube says check out one of these videos. Highly recommend it. Made it for you. We will talk soon. Peace.